My name is Ethan Parker, and I've carried a secret for years that I never thought I'd share. It's about a summer that changed me, a summer when I discovered feelings I didn't understand, and a love story that was never supposed to happen. It all began with my best friend, Ryan Miller, and his mom, Claire. Ryan and I had been inseparable since middle school. We were the type of friends who knew each other's houses, as well as our own. His place always felt like a second home to me. His mom, Claire, was one of those women who had an easy grace about her, a mix of warmth and strength. She was in her early 40s, a single mom since Ryan's dad had left years ago. She worked long hours, always carried herself with dignity, and still managed to make everyone around her feel cared for. I never thought much of it growing up, but as I got older, something about her began to stand out in ways I couldn't explain. The summer after high school graduation was when everything began. Ryan had gotten a job at a summer camp, working as a counselor. I didn't go because I had already lined up work at a local hardware store. That meant while he was away for weeks at a time, I occasionally stopped by his house to check in or help out, because Claire sometimes asked if I could lend a hand with odd jobs, fixing things, mowing the lawn, or carrying in groceries. I never minded. She had always been kind to me, and honestly, I liked being around her. One evening, I came by to help her move some boxes from the garage. It was humid, the kind of summer heat that made the air stick to your skin. After we finished, she offered me lemonade on the back porch. We sat there as the sun dipped below the trees, the air alive with cicadas. She asked me about my plans, if I was nervous about starting college in the fall. I admitted I was. For some reason, I found myself opening up to her in ways I hadn't with anyone else. She listened with that kind of attentiveness that makes you feel seen. I remember looking at her then, really looking at her. Her hair fell loosely over her shoulders, the light from the porch catching her eyes. She smiled at me, and my stomach flipped in a way that left me unsettled. I pushed the thought away. She was Ryan's mom, my friend's mom. It was something I wasn't supposed to feel. But once the thought appeared, it didn't go away. Over the next few weeks, I found myself volunteering to stop by more often. She started inviting me to stay for dinner sometimes, since Ryan wasn't around. One night, after a long day at work, she confessed she was exhausted from handling everything alone. I told her she was one of the strongest people I knew. She looked at me for a long moment, like she was trying to read something in my face. Then she reached across the table and squeezed my hand. That touch, it lingered in my mind for days. The moment that truly changed everything happened late one night. I had come over to drop off some tools I'd borrowed. She invited me in, saying she just baked a pie and didn't want to eat it alone. We sat in the quiet kitchen, laughing about small things. But then the laughter faded and silence filled the room. She looked at me in a way that made my chest tighten. "Ethan," she said softly, "you've grown up into someone I never expected. You're thoughtful, kind. It's easy to forget you're Ryan's age." I didn't know how to respond. All I knew was that the air between us had changed. My heart was pounding. Without thinking, I said the words that had been sitting in me all summer. "I care about you, Claire, more than I should." Her eyes widened, and for a moment, I thought I'd ruined everything. But then she whispered, "You're not the only one." That night, nothing happened beyond words, but it was the most powerful moment of my life. We both knew what we felt, even if we didn't dare cross the line fully. From then on, there was a secret between us, something unspoken but always there. When I'd stop by, there were small touches, shared glances, conversations that carried more weight than they should have. It wasn't some dramatic love affair filled with scandal. It was quiet, gentle. Two people who found comfort in each other's company when they weren't supposed to. Claire was careful, always reminded me that we couldn't let this go too far, that would hurt Ryan, and that she couldn't risk her family being broken. I understood, even if my heart wanted more. When Ryan came back from camp at the end of summer, everything shifted. I couldn't hang around as much without raising questions. Claire and I both knew the summer had to stay in the past. We never spoke of it again in words, but the memory lingered in our eyes whenever we crossed paths. Years passed. I went away to college, then moved to another city. Life carried me forward, but that summer stayed with me. I never told Ryan. I never told anyone. It wasn't just about the secrecy. It was about protecting something delicate, something that belonged only to Claire and me. Looking back now, I realize it wasn't about breaking rules or chasing forbidden love. It was about connection. About two people who found each other in a fleeting moment of vulnerability and warmth. Claire taught me what it meant to love with honesty, even when circumstances didn't allow it to last. To this day, when I think of that summer, I don't feel regret. I feel gratitude. For the late-night talks, for the lessons she gave me, for the way she made me believe in love's quiet power. It wasn't a story meant to last forever, but it was real. It was ours. And sometimes that's enough.